You gonna go on? Listen,
I had about
we got
enough
sponsors,
of you.
brother.
I get to that when I get to that.
So what you had enough of me about, nigga?
What? A lot, nigga.
What the fuck is a
What you
lot?
talking about, nigga? I seen you on Saturday. I'm back. I'm seeing you again right now, nigga. It's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, nigga. I don't want to see you like that. I just want to see you on Mondays, Jack.
Nigga, I have my paycheck, Wayne. Fuck, is he talking about?
Just want to see you on Monday. Yo, in
Fuck
case
about
you've
that.
been under a rock or smoking rock, you now tuned into the Personal Party Podcast. I am the Kush God Smoke Dizza. On the right of me, I got my good. Look, you know, I'm not good with introductions, but I'm going this. I got to roll a red carpet out for this one. I got my mother. This is not a guest. This is not company. I have my family in this motherfucker. So right now, this is Soulful Mondays, and we sitting at the table right now with one of the greatest human beings that I have had the pleasure of knowing since I was about 13 years old. I can't remember a time this nigga wasn't in my life. The motherfucking legend, the guru, my motherfucking brother, Wayno in this motherfucker, man.
What's up, y'all, man? Damn, y'all make me feel good, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Yo, one thing I say is that I always get good intros. Like nobody never give me no half-ass shit. I be so happy. I be saying it like, damn, like this lit.
You know what's funny though? That nigga didn't even say my name yet.
Oh nah, yeah, and I got this nigga
Nigga
show
ain't say my
bro.
name yet.
Yo, Dick, what's up?
You ain't say my name.
Your name is on the front of the podcast with me, bro. I'm tired of announcing you, bro. Niggas already know what it is.
Man.
Show Broadway. Broadway show
man.
name it,
Yes,
man.
Sir.
God damn, man.
That's good.
We doing alright, man. We doing a little better here, man.
How we doing better? Cause my eyes.
You feel it.
I
He
feel
insecure. You insecure.
I feel like
your allergies is crazy over there. Stay over there, nigga.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. No, you know what I mean.
I wouldn't be here if you ain't take that COVID test.
Yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah, alright, nigga.
Now, enough about me, and that's a nice little outfit you got on. Dude, go ahead, shout.
Yo, no fake love. I appreciate y'all. They showing love, my nigga.
That shit hard.
You know what I'm saying? No
Nah,
fake
I ain't
love.
asked you to stand up, the game.
I'm standing up, man. I'm showing them the fit. This don't look good.
Sit down, Dick.
This don't look good.
You look like a mannequin, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to look like.
All right, sit down,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, no fake love. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas got
I like
this
that.
niggas done turned this nigga into somebody. This nigga is giving drops.
You want me to say it's you?
This nigga's doing
You want me to
drops.
say it's you?
Me what?
So hold on, time out. I ain't been somebody before this, though, Smoke.
Now you was always
Why
somebody.
you act like I was just a nigga on the
I'm talking
phone,
about
like,
somebody.
no,
I'm talking
bro,
about.
this nigga be wildin', bro.
Now
like,
I'm talking about somebody.
Important?
Notable.
Notable. That's different.
You know what I mean?
Man,
It's a
I'm
little
trying,
different.
man. You know what I'm saying? It's
Speak-
the new wave right here.
Speaking of notable, because I don't want to talk to you.
Go ahead.
I talk to you enough.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to my brother.
What's good?
Because
man?
I don't talk to my brother enough.
I
you
know.
feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah, that's a fact.
It's been a journey, bro.
That's something to say the least. A journey is shit, man. Been through a lot to get
It's
to
been-
who we is today. You feel me,
Bro.
A whole lot.
I know, I kind of got to start from the beginning, but I'm gonna be all over the place.
That's fine. It's cool.
But I remember riding the C train with you every morning.
Yeah.
I knew I was actually late every morning, so that's how I would be able to ride the train with you.
Right. That's a fact.
And I would get off on 59th, you'll get off on 50th Street. Sometimes I'll get off on 50th Street with you just to keep the conversation going and then walk or figure my way back to where I had to go to get to school.
Right.
But I always had these conversations with you about what we doing right now.
Yeah.
I feel like we manifested our lives.
That's a
and
fact.
what this
dude.
shit is.
That's crazy. It's like I be thinking about that shit all the time. Like, I think about anytime a person that's in my life or I've been around, I always think about like how long I known them, the conversations we had, all that shit. And like me and Dizza, bro, we had like every day just talking about one day what we would do. Cause when I wasn't even in music. I was in the mailroom delivering shit. And then after school, like it would be we get on the train in the morning or after school. I always wait for you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I wait for you. We get up, then we be in the train station. We'd be in the train station talking before we even got on the train for mad long. Like, yo, we be on the. Oh, like we used to be like on the train. This one? Oh, this one. My fault. So yeah, we used to be we'd be in the train station for like an hour just talking about yo, man, like, yo, this is what I want to do. And he be telling me, like, yo, this is what I'm going to do. And I'll be like, yo, whichever one of us, like, make it first. Like, we just got to pull each other up. And, like, slowly but shortly, I started making the transition into that shit. And then Dizza followed, like, soon after. You know what I mean? It wasn't that far off, you know what I mean? But it was like, I feel like when he started to have his moments was a little bit later, but like I would just come back with the information. I come to the hood with the information, like, yo, this is what I'm doing. If you want to do it, you gotta do it like this and and then like they would just take it and run with it.
Facts.
Remember?
Facts.
You was in the mailroom with Cherie Bryant, right?
Who?
Cherie Bryant?
Sherry.
No. I wasn't in the mailroom. When I was in the mailroom, Shari was working at Roc-A-Fella already.
Right.
So the reason why I think I even succeeded in that mailroom shit was because like it wasn't just me there. Like when I tell my story, it's like I kind of skip over all other people that was in there. But it was like a lot of I was the youngest person in there. You know what I mean? Like I had got that job because I had dropped out of school and shit. And my mom was just like, yo, listen, like you can't, if you're not gonna go to school, you can't just be in the house all day doing nothing. I'm coming home cooking. You just here all day. Like you got to do something. And then she wanted me to stay out the streets and shit. Because when I was in high school, I was getting into a lot of trouble and shit.
Didn't you go to King?
Hell yeah, I went to King.
See, you know what I mean?
He went to King.
He went
King
and Dice. It was the Bloods and the Crips. It was Malcolm and Martin. That was motherfucking
and West Side.
And West Side.
West Side was
where they kicked.
What's the
all
no
of us
Park
out.
West? Park West though.
Park West.
Park West. Didn't you go to Park West?
Nah, I went to Dice.
You
I went to
Dice?
Park West. I feel like for night school.
For real?
Yeah,
I thought you went to Park West.
Nah, I went to the Dice. Man.
Yeah, but
Park West was a danger zone too, though.
yeah, all them schools was it's just the '90s was like a crazy time, man. Like it's not. I ain't gonna front. A lot of people from our era act like we know so much, but our time wasn't no different than these teenagers.
That's a fact.
The only thing we have like now is just like we have social media and I mean they have social media and we didn't, but like a lot of like this morning I had got a call like one of my son's teammates on his basketball team caught a charge. This kid's 14 years old, and I'm like, that's not far off from shit that my friends was doing. Not that I advocated or not, but it's just like it's a cycle of shit that just keep going on. So like me getting in the mailroom, I was the youngest dude. Like it was all the dudes that was in there was in their 20s and shit. You know what I mean? But the people upstairs, they just was more receptive because dudes in their 20s that's working in the mailroom in a music building is most likely trying to rap or like they ain't as. I was the young kid in there. I would help out. You know what I mean?
You had connections to the streets at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even. The crazy thing about it is like when we was kids, we ain't call it the streets. Like it just was life. You know what I'm saying?
Life,
Yeah,
right,
like.
Right. Where you from?
Yeah, it was like I never when I was a kid I never looked at it like I'm in the streets. Like I would go outside. You know what I mean? It's like I moved to Harlem when I was 12 years old. So it's like but I always was coming to Harlem because my grandfather lived on 42nd and Edgecombe, and then my aunt had got a crib on 33rd and 8th. So like I would always be down there and shit. But then when we moved there, it was totally different when you open up that door by yourself and got to go outside. You got to figure out what's your route when you making it home, who the people you're meeting, who the fuck you talking to, who you playing ball with.
That's
like ball is with ball and just want to have fun is what just bridged us all together. From me, Dizza, fucking T-Rex, Mook, Nim. We all was kids going to Graham's tomb. Dizza was battling grown men when he was 13. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's how we all met each other. Cause if we would have thought about camera, me and Nim was talking about that one day. I said, bro, if we'd have had cameras, you know how much money we'd have made?
Oh my God.
Documented all that.
Bro, I'm talking about like, imagine Mook, 12 years old, battling a grown man and Mace is standing right there watching.
That's crazy, my nigga.
That ass, bro. Like, kissing them niggas, standing there, like, looking like, oh, who these little niggas? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just looked at it as just, it wasn't like street shit or nothing. I just was, outside and as a kid and just making wrong decisions, figuring out how to do right by doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? So.
How did you transition from out the mailroom into, actually, before we get to that.
Yeah.
Before you got to Roc-A-Fella, wasn't you with Diplomats first?
Nah.
Or how did that work?
So the Diplomat shit, cause I be skipping over that too, cause it was really short. The thing was, it was when Cam and them first got there, I was interning at Roc-A-Fella, but I didn't even know what interning was. I just was going to the office every day.
Right.
And I didn't really have nothing to do. It was just like,
Right.
shit boring. Like, it's like, yo, go get this nigga food, go get this nigga sneakers, or like just make copies of this email and take it around. It's just boring shit. So one day, like I was standing in the hallway and Cam and Jim walked in and it looked like they just was arguing about something because they both had on a sick face. And then Cam was like, he's like, yo, shorty, He like, yo, how much money you making here, yo? I was like, $100 a week. He said, come to Diplomats. I pay you $200 a week. He said,
crazy.
I swear. So I was like, I'm like, all right, cool, right? So at this time, I don't have an allegiance or a loyalty. I'm just trying to figure out how I can make a career for myself. So I Cam gave me his number. I remember, I'll never forget that day, bro. I came back to the block because I'm from the east side, but I hung on Dizzle block all the time.
Okay.
So I came over there. I'm telling Angie, and I'm like, yo, this nigga Cam gave me his number. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm calling him. Everybody listening. Nobody, like, he was the answer to this shit. I'm like, yo, he gave me. So that the way the Cam shit happened was, well, the way the Diplomat, I was working for Diplomats for a very, very short time, but the way it happened was, it was this dude. I'm sorry, but I forget his name. But my mom, she a job developer, and she worked for this company called Strive. It was like this company on the east side where, like, you know, it creates like job readiness for the youth. So it's like, you know, you come into this place, you don't know how to handle yourself in an interview. They teaching you how to speak. They teach you how to, teach you how to look in the person's eye, shake their hand. So I had all these skills growing up. So my mom, it was this dude in there that my mom had helped. He had just came home, and she helped him get a job, get on his feet. So every time he see me, he just, oh, Wayne, what's up, man? How you doing? How your mom? Blah, blah. So he was from uptown. He from like Cam Block.
Okay.
So, you know, everybody always asked me, like, ever since I was a kid, like, what you doing? Because niggas always wanted to make sure I wasn't still doing the same bullshit I was doing when I was like early in my teens. So he was like, yo, I said, I'm at Roc-A-Fella, but I met Cam, and Cam, he said that he would hire me. Right. So he called Cam. I was with Tone. Remember Tone? They used to be on the block. He's the first nigga with the spinners and all that. I always was around like older niggas that got money. I don't know, like older niggas that was getting money always like would pull me around and just keep me around because I never was doing too much.
Because you was fly.
Yeah.
Nah, I was fly. I was definitely.
When we was younger.
Yeah, I had the new drill. I always kept the new
mics.
But that's because I like even with hustling, I would never like because there's people. You know, every time you say who you are, it's 100 people that be like, that nigga ain't who he is. That nigga used to eat cheeseburgers. Yo, you be like, man. That nigga used to eat spaghetti. That nigga ain't even like that. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be the dumbest shit. So all I'm saying is like, I never was no big hustler. I grew up on a block where like a lot of niggas on my block was getting money, and what I would do is I would go to like other blocks that I hung on and just ask them, could I do this? Could I do little stuff? And because I didn't want to risk my life going to prison for a long time, so I would do the most minimal shit that I could possibly do that would give me the lightest charge, and that's how I made my money. So older niggas used to always like watch me and have me around, but I was with Tone, and the brother I'm telling you about, he was in his car, and I was riding with Tone, and I'm telling him what I'm doing. He like, Cam say you gonna hire you? I'm like, yeah. He calls Cam. He put him on, because I kept calling nigga. I couldn't get him on the phone. He had him on speaker. He like, yo, he said, yo, you know that kid, you gave me a number, his name Wayne. He from the east side. He like, yeah. You know, he be in the office. He's like, yeah. He's like, you told me you was gonna look out for him. He like, yeah. He was like, he like, yo, look out for him. His mom, he like, when I came home, his mom took care of me. You know what I mean? Like, his mom helped me get on my feet. So he's like, yo, I need you to reach back out to that kid. I'm like, all right, boom. I forgot what I was going to do something for Roc-A-Fella. They sent me on like this this A&R thing in DC, and I was getting on a plane, and somebody called me like, hey, my name is such and such. I work for Cam. He wants you at his apartment on Monday at this time. I'm like, all right. So my first job and only job at Diplomats was fucking. What CD was that? The mixtape. Nah, it was the mixtape.
Diplomatic Community Volume 1, the shit with K Slay.
Not that one. It was the second one. The one that had the paid in full scene on it.
Okay.
So my Cam had a condo in Jersey. This was my job, bro. I went to his I would go to his crib and just sit in there and burn CDs all day and package them. I do that shit all day, but then that shit got boring.
So you was bagging up.
Bagging up. right. But no, the crazy thing was Cam ain't pay me because I could never. Yo, bro, he was the hottest nigga on the planet at that time.
So you couldn't track him down.
I never could track. But I say one thing about Cam, bro. I had stopped doing this shit, and then I asked him. I said, yo, Cam, I never got paid. He's like, you stopped coming to work, and I said, no, I worked for this many weeks. He said, how many weeks you work? I said, like, it was like a month. He's like, how much I owe you? I said, you told me you was gonna give me $200 a week. He went in his pocket, and gave me his shit.
Real nigga shit.
And gave me the shit. So I'm always like, I always appreciate Cam, bro. Like that nigga was like, I fuck with Cam. You know what I mean? I fuck with Cam for real.
Oh, nigga.
Yeah.
So from there, how did you get to Roc-A-Fella?
The Roc-A-Fella shit. Well, you know, I was in the mailroom, and the crazy thing about it was, remember when Backstage came out, and all of us went to go see it?
Of course.
That's your movie. That's my movie.
All of us went to. Raheem.
We took a field trip.
We took a field trip, the whole block. Raheem brought before my birthday just passed. Raheem brought me the vinyl of that shit.
Oh, that's
official.
fire.
That shit was fire. My best friend, yeah, he brought me that shit.
That shit changed the game, D.
So we all, like me, like everybody from his block, we went to go see that shit. And when I seen that shit, I was like, wow, like I was blown away. And then I got the mailroom job like months after. I can't remember when it came out. I got the mailroom job months after. So
that's crazy. After you seen Backstage, you got the mailroom job.
It stars aligned for me, bro. Like stars really. I really say like, you know,
that's crazy.
like I ain't gonna call it luck because I put a lot of work in. I put a lot of work in, but I ain't gonna front, bro. If you position yourself, like if you just think shit, like if you really think and believe or can see something past shit that don't exist. Like I'm talking about like, bro, everything that I've ever done in life was all shit that it wasn't in my immediate sight.
That's real.
You know what I mean? It wasn't in my immediate sight. It was like shit like we dream. Me and him used to talk about shit. Yo, I can't wait for the day, man. I'm gonna have me a chain, cause that's all we wanted. Like, we didn't even give a fuck about moving out there.
Yeah, bro. Cause that's what you see as a young kid.
Yeah, cause like I come from a block that get money. He come from a block that get money. So all we just watching niggas like the girl, like bro. All I wanted was the girls that like me. That's it.
Same.
That's it. So and the means was the flyest car, the having the new sneakers, having the this, having the that. So like, my goal was like when I got into the mailroom my first day there, like we walking, they teaching me how to do the shit, and then I'm seeing all these. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why? What is? They like this the building where all the labels is at. I thought it was bro. Imagine being a kid that don't know none of this exists. Like you just see rappers on TV and hear them on the radio all the time, and then one day you walk into a building and you see their offices.
You like that's down here,
bro. That shit was like it's like I always put the way I really understand life is through fiction, for real, because it's like I read a lot of comic books when I was a kid, and that's the only way I was able to rationalize life, because a lot of shit that is in comic books transpire, like them adults was writing real stories but putting it in some other shit. So imagine being a 18-year-old kid that fucking works out all the time, and then you walk into the building and you see Captain America. You see fucking Batman, and you see the Justice League on this floor, the Avengers on that floor, and all they villains got the other floors. And you like,
all superheroes.
They superheroes. No, they really superheroes. So I'm like, I'm walking in a building, and I see Irv Gotti's name on the door, and I see Chris Gotti and BJ and fucking all these other people. And my fault, damn, I keep. But when we was kids, I would always read the packaging, so I'm seeing every name. Like you don't even know what that means. I'm like, those the names. I'm like, I thought I was on like Punk before Punk. Like I'm like, this real? Like I'm asking niggas like, yo, that's real upstairs? Like it's really I'm like, Ja Rule be up there? They like, yeah, Ja Rule be up there. I'm like, Jay-Z be upstairs? Like DMX, they like, yeah, like you crazy? Like I couldn't believe it.
This was the era when rappers was in the office, actually.
Yeah, they used to be in the office. Yeah, rappers ain't, they don't go in the office no more.
That's when they was like, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing.
But
like,
the office was like, it was a culture within itself, because like what's crazy is the office niggas smoked out the office. It's like it was the one office you can't even.
90s, my nigga.
Then early 2000s, late 90s, yeah. Cause I got in 2000. I got in there like 2000. So
yeah.
So
Backstage 99. Yep.
The mailroom. You know how the transition in the Roc-A-Fella was. I got fired from the mailroom.
I remember that.
Yeah, I got fired. I got fired, yo.
How you get fired out the mailroom?
Nigga, talk about
me,
you get the bag and fumble it on another level, bro. And I wasn't even getting no money. The thing was, it was this. Everything is sent digitally now. So all information was transferred at this time by paper. So you had inter-office envelopes. Niggas was email existed, but nobody was using that like that. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was, it was like this box that was coming from. It was from one of my floors that I had to take to. It was coming from Def Jam. It was coming from Def Jam, and it had to go to the royalty department, because my floor was the royalty department.
Okay, I remember this.
So this dude, my man Pat, he left the box in the freight area. He like, yo, we talked on walkie-talkies. He's like, yo, I left the box. Just take it to the. I forgot the box, and anything that's left in the freight area overnight, they throw out. So imagine how many niggas, like, think about this. Like, you BMI, ASCAP, and collected, and we talking about royalties, so I probably fucked up a lot of people's money. Like, you know what I mean? They threw that box out, and they was just like, yo, they gotta go. So I got fired, and then, like, man, back to square one. I was back, back in the hood. I mean, I still was in the hood. I lived there, but, like, back home, just trying to figure out other jobs and shit. And then I was cool with Shari. Now, see, that was the thing. It was like I was cool with Shari, and I started working for this sneaker store on my block. And I found out that this Italian dude that ran this shit, I loved him. All he loved was my money. Because when I started working for him, I found out he was one of the most racist people in the neighborhood.
Is this the sneaker store that was on 16th and Lexington?
Yeah.
I remember that.
I
remember that era.
Bro, the nigga used to call, it was crazy is Jordans don't even hit the shelves no more. This nigga used to call my mom like, yo, tell Wayne that I'm holding a pair of Jordans for him. Wow. He used to hold the sneakers for me because remember, bro, $150, $120 for a pair of sneakers, that was crazy.
That was a lot of money.
That was crazy. So it's like,
niggas don't understand. Nigga, $250,
$200.
But this is what I'm saying. We didn't even have. There was no 250 jeans.
It was $50.
When I was
nigga, Pepe's was $60.
$60. And that's crazy. No, Parasuco was a buck.
It was
a buck.
Parasuco started.
It was a buck.
Yeah.
And if you had Parasucos, you know how much numbers you could get in the key.
You was the man. You was the man to skate key.
You was the man. The stripe, the stripe. My man had the black shits with the lime green stripe with the 9.5s.
Who? Joe Black?
No, Joe had that shit too, but Raheem had them shits.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But Joe, Joe.
Joe Black had all the Parasucos.
He had everything.
Both of y'all niggas.
Now we had mad. Them niggas thought we was selling dope and some shit, bro. But I say one thing is like, aside from like street shit, as a kid I kept a job. Summertime, my mom would help me get a job with Summer Youth and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Because she worked in a program that got people jobs, so I always learned how to work, and that shit carried on.
I feel like you tried to give me a job.
I did.
Then. And I think you ended up giving Streets a job.
I did, yo.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He fucked it up.
Streets fucked it up. That's a whole other story. But the crazy thing is, bro, like, so I got cool. Well, before with Shari, I was cool with Omi Ellie McIntosh. She ran Jay-Z's fan club, Fan Fam. And I would help her after work and shit. And like that's how I went to like Jay-Z concerts and shit when I was a kid and all that. Like she would be like, yo, I'll give you a ticket and all that. I took one of my little cousins. My little cousin was a super big Jay-Z fan. And I took her to a concert. I think when he did the first Blueprint, like I took her to a concert. Cause I remember H to Izzo was a single. Like he did, it was some MTV shit, but they had us front row. But yeah, man, I got cool with Shari and I just asked her. I was working in a sneaker store. I ain't gonna front. You know what it was? The moment though.
What?
I was working in a sneaker store because I used to do the lotto machine. Bro, I got my life is crazy. I used to do the lotto machine. So I used to have I lived on the east side. So like everybody that came there, they did their numbers in Spanish. So I had to learn how to take numbers in Spanish because they used to go crazy on me because I couldn't remember. They would say the number. They would walk up and say They walk up to me and say the numbers in Spanish. I'd be like, I would call somebody like, yo, Raul, my man Raul. I used to be like, Raul, could you help me with this? He like, yo, you gotta learn how they at least the numbers. You ain't gotta learn how to speak Spanish. So I learned how to take all the numbers in Spanish. So you know what it was, bro? One day I came in the store and he cut I was working how many days a week? I was working Monday through Saturday for $200 a week. And one day the nigga told me, Frank, I'll never forget his name. That's exactly why he got his name.
That's why he got his name.
But
Glizzy.
The nigga, he told me this some movie shit, bro. The nigga told me, he said, cause he put somebody else on the lotto machine. He said, man, wipe the mirrors or something.
What?
Listen. I got on the floor. It's some movie shit, bro. I got on the floor. I had the Windex and the paper towel. And you know how they had the mirrors so that you could see his sneakers? Yeah. I looked at myself on the floor, bro.
Like, nah.
I was like, nah. I put that shit and walked out. I walked right out that shit. I said, nah, I'm not cleaning no fucking windows, bro. I'm not cleaning no windows. And then I hit Shari. I was like, Shari, I don't care what I got to do. I said, I don't care what I got to do. I'll do anything, whatever y'all need. And she was like, all right, come to the office. And that's how I started into Roc-A-Fella. You know what I mean? That was my start.
That's real, right?
That's fucking crazy. And it's so crazy that, y'all two to be so important in the culture, in the game right now. Just the humble beginnings,
bro,
of what that is crazy.
You know what's crazy, Dizzy? Roc-A-Fella produced just as many, if not more, executives that did artists. If you look at like all the artists, and not taking nothing from nobody, you know what I mean? Like like from back then to today and where they're at in their careers, and then just not just directly comparing them, but like, yo, bro, I became an executive. Shari, Emmanuel, Latrice, you know what I'm saying? Like Latrice Burnett, like that's my sister. Yo, she was handling the Roc-A-Fella website in 2001. What the fuck, like?
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But I was always fucking with the internet, bro. I was buying sneakers online in like '98.
Yeah, you understood the internet.
Yeah, I was on the internet, and I was on them Yahoo chat rooms going crazy on people.
That was the Clubhouse before.
Popping, yeah, that was Clubhouse before Clubhouse. I was popping wild gang shit on there. I was going gang crazy
That was
on
your
there.
blood era.
What? I was
the
going
blood era.
gang crazy at that time, bro.
Shout out to Emmanuel too. Shout out to Manny.
Yeah, that's my
I
sister,
love
man.
Manny, man. She's good people.
For real.
Yo, how did you? All right, so when you got to Roc-A-Fella, right?
Yeah.
Now you know they got the Brooklyn wing,
Yeah.
and then they got the Harlem wing,
Right.
and then they had the Philly wing.
Yeah.
How the fuck
I ain't.
did you bypass both of those boroughs and end up in Philly?
What's up?
Cause I'm like, yo, like Weez.
Niggas
How
thought
the
you was a
fuck?
Philly nigga.
Nah, yo, Jay
Niggas called him
thought I was
Harlem
from Philly. That was my
Jay thought
nigga.
you was from Philly?
Jay thought I was from Philly. Cause I like the thing was like my first like year around Jay is like being in there is like don't speak unless spoken to. So you ain't opening up your mouth. Like you got to be in the room and he in there. Beyonce might be in there. Don't say like you ain't. If nobody not talking to you, ain't got nothing to be like. Don't just be jumping in. And I say this now, like now interns we be in here. I'm surprised. Like an intern be like, yo, you know, them niggas are coming out of nowhere. You like, damn, brother, yeah, they.
Kids is different now.
So I learned how to like just be quiet. But like the way I got around them was I ain't gonna front. I felt like they was the best niggas. I felt like they was the best. I mean. Like much like Jim, bro. I love Jim. Like Jim, I know Jim shit since I was 18, bro. Like I know this nigga. I'm 38. I know that nigga 20 years, bro. So I'm watching all of them become like get rich and all that at 25. And then me and Jewels, we went to Joan of Arc together. You know what I mean? But he went into that other school. He was in that school with Roscoe. Yeah, he was in there. Him, Roscoe, Isaiah, and them. They was in there.
Them was in SAE too.
Yeah, them was in there. Right. Yeah. So. Like Stink too. Stink me and Stink
went to IS-44.
No, but Stink went to Joan of Arc with me, cause Stink younger than me. So I was in 8th, Stink was in 7th, I think, or 6th. Stink was bad as shit in school. He's such a good man.
He's such a good nigga.
Yo, he a good nigga now.
Stink was an asshole back in the day.
I hated that little nigga. That's my man. I love him to death, bro.
But that was my nigga even back then too. But he was a
Stink was
an asshole back then.
So what happened was just sitting in the office not doing shit. I really liked Beans and Chris and them, and I have all, yo, bro, my mind, like my mind be doing gymnastics and breakdancing all day every day until I go to sleep. I can't stop thinking. Like I'm always thinking of do this. How can you do that? Like all day. It's like sometimes, bro, being in the bed sometimes at night it hurt that I can't sleep some days because my mind be moving so much.
Crazy.
It's always forward. So I'm like. I'm just sitting here because I didn't understand the music industry or nothing. I just like, yo, these niggas so nice. Why they not doing nothing? So I seen Bean's mom's, I seen like all the people contacts, and Bean's mother was like the manager for all of them. So I just one day I called her phone. And I shouldn't have did that, but I did it. I ain't give a fuck. I called the phone. I was like, excuse me, Miss Michelle. I was like, my name is Wayne. I'm like working here at Roc-A-Fella, and I was like, I just wanted to talk to you about like, you know, the Young Guns and you know the guys from Philly. I just want to know like, you know, if there's any like help that they need. She's like, they actually do need help, and they need this, and da. And yo, I stayed on the phone with this. Like, I shouldn't have called her. I stayed on the phone with her for like 20 minutes.
She gave the laundry list.
You made yourself available.
But I made myself available. But I also could have got. I could have got a lot of that shit could have went all the way left.
You miss every shot you don't take.
You do. Some shots I ain't gonna front. Some shots shouldn't be taken. But, you know what I mean? Like some shots absolutely shouldn't be taken. But like, bro. So I called her and she was like, you know what? They gonna be up there on Friday. Go to the studio. I don't care what nobody say. I said you could go.
So Bean's mom's is the one that put you in place.
And
with the Philly
niggas.
Guys.
None of them knew me.
That's fucking.
None of them knew me. But then not only that, then Big Face. You know, Big Face Gary. My brother. I love Big Face. Big Face had just come home. I'm gonna ask him one day, like, what did you come home for? I can never picture Big Face in jail, like,
because he's such a funny nigga.
He's such a funny nigga, like, but he's tough though. Like, he Haitian, he tough. Big Face fight anybody, he don't care. Big Face had came home and then like Damon and they gave him a job as A&R, and like he was walking around the office every day. He was like, "You, what you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." He's like, "Come with me." And I was like, "All right." And then I was like this with Big Face. And then Big Face, like, he put me in position. Because, like, he was, like, the A&R. They gave him all the Philly niggas and shit. I guess, but I ain't gonna front, the Philly niggas super dysfunctional. You know what I mean? But, like, and them niggas is dangerous. So they gave him. Bro, nah, I'm gonna keep it. I said this before.
They move different.
Bro, I got a job so that my mom could keep me out of trouble and out the street.
You end up with them.
Bro.
You end up with the street niggas.
Bro, no, listen. That was worse than being in the game. Bro, being
We
with...
gonna get to some of those stories, cause I got a story I don't even think you remember.
Go ahead.
Bro.
Yeah.
I got some questions. Go ahead, Smoke.
Bro, but I mean, yeah, I kind of and then you know Harlem niggas is funny. At that time, like niggas wasn't jacking me like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like me and Jewel the same age, so like he was like, not that he wasn't jacking me, but like, you know, he was having his moment. You know what I mean? He came in there with Old Boy and fucking Hey Ma, and then went in the Dipset anthem like a year later. So it's like he was on fire. You know what I mean? I was happy for him because this was a nigga I went to school with like a little bit. We didn't chill together, but I used to see him, so I'm happy for him.
And y'all kids though.
Yeah, we kids, bro.
On
Like
top of the world.
now we kids, bro. Because when I got in there, I was 18 years old. I was like 18 going on 19 when I got in there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's crazy.
That shit went from like a dream. Like I said, bro, like I'm watching these niggas on bro, you know who I met one day? I went crazy for it?
Who?
DJ Ralph McDaniels, bro.
Yo, the funny shit, when I met Ralph McDaniels, I went crazy too,
The
though.
first thing I did was call my mom. Yo, I met DJ Ralph McDaniels at what's that clothing line? Remember Born Fly?
Born Fly. I
Remember they used to do Everybody Listen to that shit? I can't remember who this shit was. And my man Lil Nez. Lil Nez, like, that's my brother right there. Lil Nez was working at Def Jam at that time, too. He was working at Def Jam. And Lil Nez, I fuck with Lil Nez because, like, he saw me as a young kid, and he never made me feel inadequate, never made me feel like he couldn't say nothing to me. He always treated me nice, you know what I mean? And being in the mailroom, everybody don't treat you nice. That shit is, like, next to being a janitor, you know what I mean? Like, niggas don't really treat you nice. So, Lil Nez introduces me to Ralph McDaniels. I was shaking his hand. I said, nah, this is crazy. I said, bro, if it wasn't for the box, like, I mean, not the box, I'm about Video Music Box. I said, Video Music Box, that's my childhood. I'm like, I called my mother, like, it's like 3 people I met in my life that I called my mom immediately after. Ralph McDaniels, Mario Van Peebles, and Spike Lee.
Mario Van Peebles.
Spike Lee was for me, too.
That's New Jack City, baby.
Yeah. Spike Lee was crazy when I met him.
Nigga, me and Crit had dinner with Spike Lee.
That's crazy.
Just me, Crit, and Spike.
And you
just got drunk off wine.
Bro, you know what's so crazy? Like, being at Roc-A-Fella, I met so many, like, by the time, for the kids, any of the kids that's watching that think Jay-Z's this old nigga with dreads now, you know what I mean? Like
nigga like Basquiat.
Right, that nigga look like Cole, bro. I ran into J. Cole yesterday.
He in the city?
Yeah,
I gotta hit Cole.
Canal Street. I see my man Eve, and they was just down there, and he was like, he said to Cole, he's like, yo, you remember Wayno? He like, hell yeah. We chopped it up. I did a clubhouse room for them. Side note, but being at Roc-A-Fella, bro, like Jay he's Drake. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not comparing styles and raps.
I totally
not doing that.
I get the analogy.
But like, he's the biggest nigga. So it's like, imagine being a kid. If you're an 18-year-old kid, imagine working for OVO right now.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's a little different because Roc-A-Fella had more artists that was moving, but
way more. In the culture was.
But in culture,
they was dictating the culture.
But OVO, I mean, like, Drake is the biggest.
He's the biggest musician,
right?
In the world.
But respectfully, I don't think niggas want to dress like Drizzy.
You said nobody.
We wanted to dress like Hov.
Yeah, we wanted to dress like. That's a big part of being like. That's the influence is one of the biggest parts of being an artist because it's like, you know how many outfits we stole from Fab. I'm talking about, yo, bro, when jerseys was out, you know how many times we watched it? Oh, nah, they got the. Remember
Fab, we thought Fab was Rasheed Wallace.
No,
we thought Joe Buttons was Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, we thought Joe Buttons.
Remember that?
but that's because it's that Clue tape. The first time we heard Joe, it was the Clue tape, and Rasheed Wallace did the intro on the Clue tape, and then it was the Coming For You freestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah, Joe went crazy on that shit.
I remember that.
Everybody.
I remember that.
Everybody was like, yo, that's Rasheed Wallace calling himself Joe Button. Like, that shit was hell yeah.
I remember that was a thing, man.
Yeah. But like, yeah, bro, like just being there, bro, I got, just being around people, bro, I was around everybody, bro. Like being around them niggas, bro. Mary J. Blige. I remember the first time I met Mary J. Blige, my nigga. That's another one. I couldn't believe, my nigga.
That's the queen.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
the
yo,
queen.
that's Mary J. Blige,
I feel like
my nigga.
these days for you turned you into a Swiss Army knife. Because you learn how to do everything.
But you know what it is, bro? The thing is like, cause a lot of people from the outside looking in think I just know everything. I'm like, bro, that shit comes out of necessity. It's like, it's survival. Because it's really survival because it's like, bro, like, I don't have like academics to fall back. Like it's niggas that be like, man, like it's mad people I met that's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this year for work, and I'd be like, take a year for work. They're like, yeah, I saved enough though I could take a year for work and I'll just figure it out next year, because they got degrees or they got certain skills that can put them in a certain position.
Right.
And I didn't have I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade and I went to fucking GED night school. I dropped out of that, and then my mom put me in another GED program. I dropped out of that. You know, school just stopped being my thing.
Scholastic career's a mirror.
No, but I be yo, bro. The reason why my shit in school is because a lot of people don't know. We went through a lot of different living situations. Nice. Bro, I lived in the key years of your life when you're going into middle school to high school. I lived in 5 different places in 5 years. And my mom, I said one day, me and my mom was talking. This like a couple years ago. I'm like, yo, mom. She said, I never looked at it like that. She said, I never like thought of it like that. Like, I literally went from the same school, kindergarten to 5th grade, then graduated. My mom got pregnant with my sister. We moved to another crib. I did 6th grade. Then we moved again. We moved to Maryland, right, for a year, which that was a fucking worst year of my life in school, because every nigga in there hated me. All the girls liked me. All the niggas hated me. Playing on a basketball team. Nobody don't pass you the ball. All of that. A nigga, yo, I was just telling my wife this shit the other day. I know I'm going all over the place, but look.
Nah, go ahead.
Yo, no bullshit. I played on this basketball team, and at this time, this was when we collecting basketball cards. I'm in the 7th grade. So one day, me and the kids from my basketball team, I used to steal basketball cards out of Toys R Us. We go to Toys R Us. I go to steal the cards. I get caught. They just said, listen, you can't come in here no more. You can't come in the store no more. I'm like, all right, cool. But that day, we went to Kmart, stole cards, Walmart, stole cards, all that shit. Mind you, I'm not the ringleader, my nigga. I'm not the leader of these niggas. I'm the New York nigga that don't none of y'all niggas like.
But they gonna put it on you.
No, look at this, bro. We was stealing cars all day. Now, I was the only person that got caught that day. Later on that night, the kid that was the point guard on my team, I go to his crib. His pops was the coach. This nigga Pops pulls me aside like, yeah, Brian told me what you did today. He like, yo, he told me what you did today. He like, I'm just letting you know, if something like that happened again, you getting kicked off the team. I'm in my head, and I'm not saying like, bro, because kids get this whole snitching, not snitching, and all that. It's not the same thing. This is not even snitching. Like, I'm not gonna tell him. Reason why I'm not gonna tell him is because it's like, he didn't make me do what I did. I did what I did, and I got caught for it. But I just was like, what type of nigga is you? You was stealing with me. Like you was stealing with me, and you gonna tell your pops, but at the same time you are the starting point guard on the team.
Yeah, but the Rock hide your hand.
But look, then we moved back from fucking Maryland back to New York. But then when we moved to New York, we was in a shelter. We went through this in my 8th grade year. We in 3 different shelters, right? And then we get out the shelter. That's when we moved to Harlem. And I graduated from the 8th grade to go to 9th grade. So all them years that I had, that you gel with your friends and y'all going in, like you going through middle school with them, and then y'all are learning about high school together and where you want your futures to be. And cause I be seeing kids that really know it, and they be with the same friends since like not kindergarten, but like maybe the end of elementary into middle school, or in middle school into high school. I didn't have none of that. So it's like, that's why I failed that school. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time I got to high school, that shit didn't prepare me for no.
It was a blur. Bro,
that was the first time I had responsibility. Go to class or do whatever you want to do. And I'm not thinking about the detriment of doing what I want to do as a child. I'm like, just fuck it, I'm not going to class.
That's a fact.
I didn't know that fucking they gonna send a cut card, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, I'm not gonna go to class, and it didn't prepare me. But it's like, what I'm saying that to say this is like, everything that I built for myself and for my family came from out of desperation, like for real, because it's like, you know, when you young and you start having children, niggas start, oh, your life is over. That's the thing. And as kids, we from the era, everybody wanted to be grown.
Facts.
So it's like, oh, your life is over. You ain't never going to... Like, niggas act like if you have a kid at 19... Well, not... Nobody...
16 was our age where niggas would be like, oh, your life is over.
Yeah, like niggas act like you... Oh, so you that means that you'll never go to Miami and have fun for a weekend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what people equate to living life. So, like for me, it's like, all right, once I understood that, like, because, you know, it comes to a point where Roc-A-Fella ends.
Right.
For me, at least.
Right. And
once that ends, it's like... Because like you said, you know, people look at me like, you know, I do a lot of things. I just was doing anything and everything I could to get to where I want to be. And I didn't give up my dreams for my children. a lot of people give up their dreams for their children. I push my dreams so that my children could be good for their future and their kids could be good for their future.
Talk.
But because I had this conversation with my mom's one time. My mom's used to she used to fucking do fashion shows. I remember when I was like 7, 8 years old, my mom like sewing dresses and all this shit. And like now, you know, you be on Instagram. I be on Instagram. You might see a girl and she got her kids with her and they doing all this shit. Mm-hmm. And I asked my mom one day, I'm like, yo, mom, why you stop like you know, you was doing the fashion shows and doing like designer clothes. Like, why you stop that? She said, so I could take care of you and your sister. I thought that was the saddest shit ever, bro. Cause I'm like, my mom could have been one of these Anna Wintours, or Virgil Ablohs, or whoever. My mom could have. I feel like my mom, if she would have pushed it, she could have did it. But I'm like, when I started having kids, I'm like, I want to be something in music. I'm not giving it up because I don't have nothing else to fall back on. This the only thing I know I'm gonna be able to take care of my family off of. You feel me?
I say we lived our dreams for our kids' realities.
That's
right.
Heavy.
So like I remember riding the train with you. Fuck riding the train. I remember calling you when you worked at Channel 11 early in the morning. And
wow.
I used to be so upset with how my shit was moving.
Yeah.
And it was so many times where I'm like, I'm done with this shit, Weez. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it no more.
Right.
I'm just not doing it. And you'd be like, nah, Dizzy, you bugging. You bugging. You gotta keep pushing. Trust me. Like, this shit is gonna work.
Right.
You just gotta keep working it. Cause if you don't, as soon as you stop, the dream stops.
That's a fact.
Right? And that's, you know.
Yo, the thing with that is like, you know, I'm gonna tell you how I met this nigga.
Yeah, let me hear that.
I used to see, like, on the east side, my block was like, it was kind of crazy. So like, I used to play ball. I stayed on my block a lot, but I play ball. But then like, start having friends on the west side and shit. You get in high school, and it's around like I got in high school when I was like 13, going on 14, and like I'm on the west side, and he's younger than me. So I'll never forget, like he was battling somebody, and his style was like he would take like whatever popping song it was and flip it. But that was crazy at that time. And remember, bro, that like, first of all, he was slim as a greyhound. Yeah. he was slim as a greyhound. But like, this little skinny nigga, and I was skinny too, but he bony, bro, and nigga's face, and I just was like, yo, that's dope. So that's how we met. So I accept you how I met you. I always have it in my mind, no matter what he's going through, that kid that you knew. I liked him, like you know who I was like that with too? G-Dot. G-Dot used to play ball. That's how me and G-Dot became friends.
G-Dot was nice in ball back then.
Because I used to play, but G-Dot was so nice. I went to G-Dot one day, I just started talking to him. I was like, yo, man, you mad nice. I said, I come to your next game? He like, yeah, like, that's how we became friends.
That's funny.
Like, I just would ask, like, yo, I'm like, because so it'd be him. I'd be like, yo, you be battling? Like, yo, how you do it? I would ask him, like, yo, how you be rapping like that? He'd be like, I don't know. Like, I just be, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
And then, so for me, when he was going through what he was going through, I had already gave up on my shit. I had already put myself in a position where I accepted that I was not going to work in music. I was not going to work in entertainment. I finally got like a decent job at the time. And, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just figure out what I could do job-wise. But I'm like, I'm still going to encourage him because I believed in him ever since we was kids. So it's like, I don't want him. And when I started working there, I was only like 22 years old. But I was like, 22, 23. I was like, I didn't want him to stop because I knew how dope he was. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing when like, you listen to a nigga, but like he an actual friend. And like, when we was kids, bro, we used to spend an hour on the phone on a house phone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what the fuck we was talking about back then. But we just called. We might be talking about basketball or sneakers or just yeah. Like we didn't have like nothing figured out. It's just like my biggest thing, bro, is like I always wanted to encourage people because I know what it feels like to feel discouraged. You know what I mean? Like I know what it feels like to doubt yourself and to not be not sure, but like be a little bit unsure, thinking like. Yeah, I could. Like it's like making a jump. Maybe I could make it, but if I fall, I'ma hurt myself. You know what I'm saying? Like but the thing is like I felt like that was my skill. My skill was encouragement. My skill was like building people up, but I got that from my mom. From when my mom was designing and putting fashion pieces on people to when she was braiding hair. And my mom was like that. My mom do everything. So it's like that's how, you know, I just transfer that energy to my brother. Cause I just was like, yo, bro, there's no way possible you could give up because you come so far.
That's a fact, B.
And this is the time where this is
before we knew Nip. This before
Nip. This before any rap friend. I feel like this is pre-internet. This is before I even started getting on Now Writing Two Dope Boys. I was probably on Smash or like these random sites.
Nah, it's before that, bro. It's
Even
before Smash,
before
bro.
that, facts.
We talking about like 07.
Oh yeah.
We talking this is like when
after Smoking Numbers.
This after Smoking Numbers.
Facts. And this is when I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Because I was so used to being in the group and I'm like, I don't know what to do, where to go, or what. And I remember, a little further down the era with you working at Channel 11, you fucking got the video team to shoot a video for me. I felt like that was the biggest shit in the world for me at the time because
that's crazy.
They shot it on a red camera.
I forgot about
they
that.
edited it. And they did everything for free.
It was
a whole
production. I never even knew I could do something like so. So what's crazy about that is like
you was putting together plays.
So I got into Channel 11. That I would never forget that. I got that job when New York went on a strike. The MTA went on strike. So like I had got to the interview and they was like, oh, it's okay if you can't come down because there's no trains. There's no trains, no buses. So it's like unless somebody driving you or you walking down to 42nd Street and 3rd, it's okay.
It's okay.
But when I got the job, I was in it was mailroom. This is after Roc-A-Fella. You know what I mean? It's mailroom type. And it was on call. So I ended up getting a more solid job and then I got fired. Well, not fired. I got laid off. And then they rehired me again. And when they rehired me again, I was working. Much love to my mentor, John Ziegler, yo. White dude, didn't know me from a can of paint. One of the most important people in my fucking life. I would not be the man, aside from my father, I would not be the man I am without that man. I would not be the man I am without that man. He saw something in me that I did not believe, thought existed, nothing. This man gave me a job. He was the fucking head of creative services, bro. He's a white dude that didn't graduate. He didn't finish high school, and he's the head of creative services at Channel 11. Yo, he lied and said I had a fucking bachelor's degree so that he could give me this job, right? And not only that, bro, the job I got, it was $40K a year. I was 27 when I got that job. I'm dumb hype because this is the first time I'm 40K. I mean,
salary,
40K.
it's a salary.
Nah,
It's a
like
salary.
that ain't shit now to me, but
shit.
yeah, and I'm
But back
happy to
then,
say that
40K
shit.
was something.
Bro, he said to me my first day in there, like my first week in there, this is what this man says to me. I'm like, yo, John, thank you for this job and this, that, and the third. I'll never forget, we was at like a Christmas party. And I said, yo, thank you for this job. It's the most money I ever made and da. And he said, this job ain't shit. He said, you gonna be way bigger than this. He said, yo, you so smart. He telling me I'm smart. Yo, bro, I never had my pops never told me I was smart. Every time I got in trouble, that nigga called me dumb. But he never told me I was smart. So to have this man, and for me, I always gravitated to men who were in higher positions than me, that was older than me, because I didn't grow up with an older brother. So it's like, I always gravitated to any man that was doing some dope shit. I'm like, oh, I gotta get next to him so I can learn. So he's telling me, yo, listen, because remember I tried to start my clothing line.
I remember.
He was like, yo, listen, he said, listen, you working here. He said, all these guys that work in here, they do full production, they do graphics, all that. He said, make the best of your time in here. Use them for whatever you need them for. But at the time when we did your video, I had, was I still working there? I still was working there.
Definitely was.
Bro, these dudes, I'm talking about, they went to the best colleges, all that. These motherfuckers, matter of fact, one of the dudes that do graphics, he did graphics on, remember that Busta Rhymes video with Nicki? Turn it up.
Yeah.
That shit where he turned on the Venom and all that. He did that. Yo, bro, these niggas was OD nice.
Nah, them niggas was they was on some.
Bro,
other shit.
they came to Ernest MST. MST. It went to his crib, a loft downtown, bro. They shot this video. I didn't know what the fuck we was doing with this shit. I just was like, yo, we got a video.
And the shit was, they took about 6 months to edit.
It took like 6 months to edit
But it was free.
It was a lot of rendering, yeah.
It was a lot of rendering, but
Yeah.
it was probably one of my best videos I ever
Visually,
shot.
yeah, it's crazy. It was
at
crazy.
the time. So, I always tell that story because that was just like that's just the type of person you are. Now I know I'm zigzagging all over the place, but I called you a Swiss Army knife because you have all of these skills and you learned them from survival tactics.
That's a
this
fact.
is just where these skills derive from. Like the first project you ever worked on was the Young Guns.
Yeah. Yup.
And your task on helping putting that together. At the time, for me, that was a major album. They had a hit record. When they was on, anytime I seen them, I knew I was gonna see you.
Right. That's a fact.
You know, so I would be looking for you on 106 in Park or wherever these niggas at, because I know I'm like my brother with them niggas
all the time.
Now that whole process, were you nervous getting that task at that time?
Nah, cause I didn't look at it as a task, bro. You know what's amazing about being a kid, bro. And you a father?
Yes.
All right. So one thing we know about our children is, remember the first time your kid bust their head, or the first time they fell or fucked themselves up, something. You wanna know why they did? They didn't know the consequences of them falling. So for me, being that young, I didn't think about doubt. I just was like, I'm doing whatever. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. Like, bro, you niggas can't tell me nothing. So the thing with the young guns was, like, we all the same age. They only like months behind me. And I kind of, they put me around them because we was the same age. So when remember I brought Neef uptown, like, you know what I mean? Like, me and Neef rode the 2 train before.
You had Neef in the trap with me.
Absolutely. But I mean, that's years later.
Years later.
But that's because, the thing is, like, that's where they come from. Like, when I started being around Philly niggas, it's the same shit as, like, Harlem. It's like, one thing about poverty is the same anywhere you go.
That's universal. It's universal.
Yo, bro, poverty is the same anywhere you go. And, like, we just kids that, we come from poverty and we blessed with these opportunities. And the thing about it is, I didn't even understand it at the time, but it's just, like, take advantage of the opportunity. So it's like, before we even did the album, I remember like them being in the studio and not having nothing to do, and I'm like, yo, let's do a mixtape. And that's because I was listening that summer. Remember that summer when 50 went crazy, bro? I was telling them like, yo, we got to do nigga shit over that. I went uptown, my man Ali Schemes.
Ali Star. Shout out to Ali Star. After this, I got a good Ali Star story I think you might remember.
We went up to go see Ali, grabbed some instrumentals. We was in Quad, you know what I mean? Went down there. We did the mixtape. I picked a lot of the beats, you know what I mean? And they picked beats too. Neef was picking. That's the thing. A lot of people don't like. People used to give Neef a lot of flack and shit, but Neef was really good with his ear for picking beats. So like me and Neef was picking the beats together. Chris would start off whatever the joints was.
He started Chris rapping, right?
Yeah. So like, and then what we did was like we made the tape, and then Dame would just pop in like, yo, what y'all niggas doing, B? Like, what y'all niggas in the studio? Like, what's going on? Y'all got anything?
Checking on y'all.
Bro, we played him and Biggs. Him and Biggs came in the studio one day. We played them the Youngest in Charge tape. We played them the tape. Dame was like, nah, we putting that shit out this week. He's like, I'm gonna get DJ enough to do it. He's like, we putting that shit out this week. And then they was like, they didn't even know my name. He just like, yo, you was doing this with them? I'm like, yeah. He like, yo, when you get to work on Monday, tell them that you know how Dame talk mad fast. He's like, yo, B. Yeah. And you know it's crazy because Dame was, at this time, I'm like 19 at this time. 19, yeah, I'm 19. Dame is like 31, 32. You know what I mean? And like, now I'm past 32, but I'm like, damn, bro, they was setting the bar. Setting the bar, bro. That's why, you know who I give a lot of, I be giving my man QP from Highbridge, I give him all his flowers, bro, because like, I love to see like niggas that's young and getting it. I'm talking about filthy, nigga. Go get, as long as your family taking care of you, guys that go get every car, nigga. Go get every watch. As long as you ain't living past your means, I love to see that shit. Cause they doing shit at that age that I didn't get a chance to do. So my lady is. So we do the joint. That's when we had Can't Stop Won't Stop. Enough kicked that shit off, bro. I sat with Enough. Me and Enough sat together. It's crazy because like years later I came past Enough and I was like, do you remember me? And I was like, we did that Youngers mix. He's like, oh shit, yeah, I do remember you. When I was managing Dave.
That's crazy.
That's when I came across him.
Yo, and you know, it's crazy, like the lineage. You know what I mean? Like, and this is how important you are in my life, in my career. Even with Dave. You introduced me to Dave.
That's a fact.
You brought Dave to the block.
That's a fact.
And like early.
That shit's crazy.
Without
bro.
The tattoos.
Nah, he had tats, but he
didn't have as many.
He didn't have his face tatted and none of that.
That's why I say without the tattoos, he was. It was fresh. And your ability for breaking artists and making the inner circle believe. Because the belief all started, I feel, with us.
Yeah.
Before it went to where it went to. And once we believed, I knew everybody else will believe.
But that's just y'all sharing the same energy that I gave y'all. It'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's like with Dave, I was doing, this is what I'm saying, bro, like shit be happening in my life out of nowhere. I stopped, oh, my fault. I'm being nosy and shit watching the room.
Supposed to do that though, bro.
Right. I was in SOBs one day. I don't remember what I was in there for. And I was in there talking. I love to talk. I was in there talking, bro. I was in there talking and Pat Swiss. You remember Pat Swiss?
Of course I remember Pat Swiss.
Pat Swiss says, he's like, yo, man. He said, what's your Twitter? I give him my Twitter. He looking at my tweets. He said, yo, man, you're a star. I was like, what?
Shout out to Pat.
Yo, he like, yo, you're a star. He's like, you want to host shows at SOBs? I'm like, host shows at SOB? What are you talking about? Like, it's like the same shit as when I went to the office. I'm like, host shows? What the fuck, nigga? Host something? Me? He like, yeah, bro. He like, yo, you funny, you smart, you be saying all this different thing. He said, yo, you could do this. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, but see, at the time, this the second time I get laid off at Channel 11. And I told my wife, I'm like, give me 8 months to figure out how to make some sort of money doing anything. I said, I don't want to get another job. I said, I'm gonna go as hard as I can with what I got going. And this is crazy because I'm 29 years old, going on my third kid, and we living in a 1-bedroom apartment in the projects in Harlem River, right? So
Similar. That's crazy.
she was like, she gave me the go ahead, like, you know what I mean?
Believed in you.
Yeah. Crazy thing about it, she don't even
believe in you, bro.
No, that's a fact, but that's because I do anything I say. Bro, it ain't never nothing I ever said. Even if it didn't get all the way accomplished, I made an attempt. So the thing was, like, I started hosting shows at SOBs. It was a Harlem showcase. The first show I ever hosted, you remember the first show I ever hosted? You don't even remember it. First show I ever hosted was Ab-Soul's first show in New York.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
Ab-Soul first show in New York. And you know who he brought out? He brought out Kendrick that night. That's when Kendrick put out Good Kid, Mad City.
I remember that fucking show.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember
SOBs.
that show.
That's 2012, I think. And we end up doing that. And then
Hovey. Hovey.
Oh, man.
The boss man is here.
The boss is in this
The boss is in the
motherfucker.
building. Oh my God, my brother, man. What's up, baby? Good? I'm great. We getting to it in here. Look how comfortable he is. Look how comfortable he is. Yeah, I gotta get to my whole vein part of the story. I gotta get to my whole vein part of the story. So, well, I say it just because my brother just walked in the building. When Hov was doing shows, damn, what's this? Famous Factory. I'm trying to think if it was before or after. It was in between him doing. It was because I had already started the clothing line. Cool Mentality. I had already started the clothing line, and I'm trying to get this and it. And, I'm gonna tell you, this is what Hov do, bro. Hov would just analyze, and he be like, yo, you know what you should do? Yo, I swear to God. Me and this nigga on the phone, cause look, but look at this, Dizza. Think about how life go. Remember how when we was kids, how we used to be on the phone for an hour? Once me and Hov got tight, that's how me and him used to be on the phone for an hour.
Right.
So we on the phone, and I'm telling him, I'm like, Hov, I got the clothing line, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, that. He like, yo, B, he like, you know what you should do? He said, you should manage artists. I said, what? Like, I was like, every time somebody tell me this, I'm like, what the fuck you mean? He said, Wayno, he said, you already did all that. He said, all that shit you was doing at Roc-A-Fella, you was managing them niggas. You might not got paid for it.
That's a fact.
But that's what you was doing. He said, yo, you too talented to not manage talent. I would never forget that shit that nigga said to me. I would never forget. I was in the street. I was walking. I was on 45th and 7th. I was walking. I remember I used to walk to my mom's crib from uptown just to clear my mind. So he tell me that. So we had the part where I'm telling him about like Dave. I met Dave and all. So I'm hosting the shows and it's a Harlem showcase and at SOBs, and Dub was on it.
Dub Aura, shout out to Dub.
Shout out to Dub. Few people was on it, but Dave was on it. And then Dave, but prior to that, you know Jamie and G. Coles.
Of course.
Jamie, I grew up on the 8th floor. Jamie, his family's on the 8th, but he grew up on the 9th floor. They telling me like, yo, you know about the kid Dave East?
This basketball Jamie.
The basketball Jamie.
Yeah.
Remember, Jamie was nice
Jamie
to me.
was OD nice.
That's how I got a relationship with Kimber Walker, because Kimber is Jamie. Kimber used to be in my building all the time because him and Jamie was like best friends. So, and Jamie was ranked higher than Kimber at one point in time. Jamie was that, bro. No, he was he was like, I swear to God, this nigga was like James Harden. He was like a little James Harden because he left-handed too.
Dumb nice,
yo. Dumb. Like he was playing with us when he was 10. He was playing with us when we was 17. So he telling me like, yo, it's this kid Dave East and and I'm like, word. I'm like, he from 1199. I'm like, I was like, I didn't hear him. You know what I mean? As far as rap, I'm like, all right. And he ends up on the show. So he does the show, and then after the show, like, bro, it was mad people from Harlem there, but I ain't gonna front. That nigga Dave, bro, that nigga, he just was spitting like nobody was rapping like him. And then like him and Bully was there. I got a picture of that shit. I got our first picture we ever took together. Remember, I'm doing the shit with Reebok at the time too. My brand ambassador Reebok. But me and Dave, we started talking, and then like, you know, he just started reaching out on some regular shit, like, yo, what's up? What you doing today? I'm like, nah. He like, yo, B, he like, I gave him, I remember the first convo we had, I had gave him some Reeboks and shit. So he was like, yo, you think it'd be cool? He's like, I'm about to drop a mixtape. You think it'd be cool if I put the Reebok logo on the joint? And I was like, see, nothing would have happened, but I'm thinking so business. I'm like, nah, don't do that. Right. I'm like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, them niggas gonna think that I'm starting Reebok records down here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't do that. So a year passes by. Me and Dave, we stay in a little bit contact here and there. And then one day, bro, I forgot what it is. I had another artist at the time, and she was working with him, Ricky Jacobs too. Remember
Ricky Jacobs.
Fire, that's my brother.
Every artist you had, I did.
You remember all of them?
Every artist
from Baltimore. You remember Ricky? Ricky was fire. Yo, Ricky was like, I ain't gonna front, bro. Like Ricky just started rapping again. Like he just sent me something recently because he had stopped for a while. But like, bro, that nigga was like, I felt like he was just as good as like a Big Sean. Like Ricky,
he was really
bro,
good.
The nigga got Baltimore Artist of the Week in the newspaper. Like all this dope shit was happening for him. But my artist Iman Yera, she had worked with Dave, and then my biggest thing, I was managing Buddha and Grands. Those were the first clients I had, Buddha and Grands. And Buddha, I met Buddha through Amadeus.
Oh wow.
That's how me and Buddha met. And Buddha, like, our only thing is like, we going to everybody, bro. We giving everybody beats. Like one time, like Meek is popping off, and through my Philly connect, like I met Meek in the street when he was young and I was young. And I brought Buddha to playing beats. They get a record with Meek, and then the shit get leaked. So it's, you know, bro, the producing game is 20 times harder than a rapper. Because you got to give up so many beats just to land one placement. By all the work you done put in to sell that one beat, that shit is probably a negative 20% of what you spent to get that check. So we was trying to find one nigga. We was like, yo, if we could find one nigga that could like just get on the beats, we could just use his budget for your beats. So Dave, he's still doing this thing or whatever. And then I remember I asked Iman, and Iman was like, I said, yo, I think I want to get Dave. And she's like, nah. She like, yo, that nigga, she said, that nigga's a star. He gonna be that. And then I told my wife, I'm like, yo, it's this kid. I'm like, yo, his name Dave East. I said, this nigga fire. I said, yo, I feel like this gonna be the one. Like, cause I was doing a lot of shit for Chris and them post Roc-A-Fella, and Chris wasn't like doing it. And I just was like, yo, you know what? That's my brother, but I gotta start moving in my own direction. Right. And I never forget, what's his name? Dave. I was like, yo, let me chop it up with you. He was at Jay Mill's mom's crib. He was over there with that sound crazy. With Mills, with Mac Macarell. Yep. I went over there. I sat with him. I said, yo, Dave. I said, yo, anybody managing you or anything? He like, nah. He like, I do all this shit myself. I said, you lying, bro. He said, nah, I really do. I've been doing this shit for a while, but he's like, I'm really doing this myself. Like, I'm want to make something out of it, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just doing shit. And I was like, I said, I want to manage you. He's like, word. I'm like, yeah. I said, I want to manage you. He was like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. I said, I promise I'm going to make you rich. I said, I promise I'm going to make you rich, my nigga. I promise you that. He was living in the projects. I was living in the projects. But I knew, bro, I had a vision for this nigga. And it come from a lot was, even I credit, I'm not just because my brother here, bro, Hovain and what he had did with his artists at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I was following a lot of shit that he was doing, Sycamore was doing, just on a like executive side. Cause these niggas is executives without a corporate office. These niggas is doing it off the muscle. So I'm watching niggas, I'm like, damn, I feel like, and then Hov had told me I could do it. I'm like, all right, I get with the kid. Every time I get an artist, first thing I do is call everybody. I called everybody, bro. I called everybody by Dave. I called Lenny. Yo, you know how many people passed on this nigga, bro? I called Lenny S. This is my brother. Love him to death. He passed. I called DJ Drama. Drama passed, but I ain't gonna. He ended up passing for Uzi, which I can't knock that. You know what I mean? I had a chance to manage Uzi too at that time.
Philly, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but I had a chance to manage Uzi, but I put my chips in the bag with Dave. I called Diz. I'm like, yo, I got this kid. The first thing I did, I went to his studio. He was recording the Queens. He played me Black Rose. It was hard, but it was like missing little shit. I was like, yo, you might need this or that. I went to I took him uptown, Dizza.
Facts.
We chilled in the spot with this nigga with Wayne crazy ass. Nigga smoked all that. I said, Dizzy, just please, bro. I said, just give me a verse from this nigga. He like, I got you.
And I had a little buzz at that time. So
yeah, he's buzzing crazy.
I was thirsty to help my brother.
Nigga, you had a record with Kendrick Lamar at the time, nigga. What the fuck? You buzzing? Nigga had a record with Kendrick, Nipsey, Wiz.
I was just thirsty to help because I'm just like, all right, this new nigga from Harlem that's coming with my brother. Yeah. And I'm the first nigga to work with him that got some type of buzz. I'm like, I'm on that.
But even though Shipes too, because it's like
I was on Black Rose, right?
That was on Black Rose. The crazy thing was, is like a lot of people don't know this. Like Shipes wanted me to get down with him when he started Cinematic.
That's a fact.
When he started it, I'm talking about that nigga wanted me to be his partner. I did not know what the fuck a partner was. I was just like, Shipes, you got a job for me, nigga? Like, I ain't trying to be no boss, nigga.
You had links, my nigga.
But I didn't view it as that.
I feel you.
Shipes, I attribute that to my brother, bro, because I got major love for Shipes. Shipes, he had a vision when we were younger, and I didn't have that vision. He had a vision of everything he's done. Mm-hmm. For everything I've done, I didn't have that at the time. I was 21 years old. Dizza put us in, he's like, yo, he kept telling me, I want you to meet my man Shipes. I want you to meet my man Shipes. Mm-hmm. I met him. You know who I fucking showed Shipes, bro?
Who?
I showed him Vodka from Philly. You know Vodka?
Oh, shit.
I showed him Vodka and I showed him Cheek Raw. Cause when Beans, we was trying to do the next version of State Property. Okay. And we was grabbing, we used to, that nigga was on house arrest. I was living with him when he was on house arrest. Mm-hmm. Bro, we was watching Starlito's Way DVD, all them DVDs, bro. We was watching Chico. Bro, we had this nigga Cheek Raw in the studio with Kanye before, bro. And you know what Cheek Raw was doing?
What?
He was on the internet looking at guns. I swear to God. I swear to God. But bro, so like with the Dave, when I got Dave, it just was a multitude of watching my brother Hov success, watching Shipes success. Cause remember, we skipping over a lot of time I spent sitting in the crib with you, Spitter, Nipsey,
Facts.
Crit.
I was about to get to the
Well,
Nipsey
we get to that. All right, so
right.
I'm gonna finish the Dave shit. So Dave, you know, bro, like it's crazy because, and I'll just say this about artists today. I say no bullshit because me and Dave, we actually spoke. You know, we hadn't spoken in a while, and then
Y'all
you know,
spoke?
Yeah, we spoke.
Man, can I? How do I use my board?
You were.
Yeah, I need.
Right.
Can I get applause for
No,
how do I
so
do this shit? Oh man.
Like, so me and Dave, we spoke. The thing is this. Everybody always wondered why me and Dave and this, that, and third. That's me and Dave business. That's our business. Did we have a fallout? Yes. But why we've had a fallout, that's our business and ain't nobody else's business. But what I will say is that when he saw my pops pass away, he immediately reached out to me. He immediately reached out to me. He said, "Yo, bro." He said, "Man," and I haven't spoken to Dave in years, bro.
I know.
This
is new news. You just broke it on my shit.
Yeah.
You just broke it on the personal part for me because I didn't know that.
He, you know, it was like it's love. It's just love, bro. It's like end of the day, I never, regardless of what me and him went through, I never wanted nothing bad to happen to me. This is a nigga that I used to go pray with every Friday. Facts. I took him to take a shahada.
I know.
I prayed with him we made millions of dollars. Like we made money, bro. Every big check he got is every big check I got. The first time we seen all them zeros, I seen them with him. We seen them together and we broke that bread. You know what I'm saying? I moved out the hood. I moved out the hood. He moved out the hood. We did that together. So none of that could be erased. So I would say that, like, regardless to whatever people think or this, whatever, because there's a lot of rumors, tons of rumors. Yeah. None of that shit matters.
I never spoke on it though.
That's because no matter what, he got love for me and I got love for him. Regardless to all of that.
I love
it's a lot of it's subs on the way though. It was a lot of subs.
It was a lot of subs and bullshit. But this news made my eyes water a little bit.
But that, you know, that I got nothing but love and respect for Dave. You know what I mean? And I'm happy. Congrats. He just had another kid. You know what I'm saying? He reached out to me. He reached out to me when my pops passed away, and that was really big because that was a really tough time for me. But you know, again, bro. Like, you know, me and Dave, the rest is history. People see where we took it. What I wanted to say, what I wanted to get at was this: when I was working with Dave, I could name a slew of rappers that I worked with. I never seen a nigga work harder than him when his back was against the wall and he was trying to make something happen for himself.
Survival tactics.
I'm talking about, bro, the first 2 deals that me and Dave got don't even add up to what they offer these kids today. And I'm talking about this kid Dave put in fucking work. We was in Atlanta. His man came down with us. This is when we was working on Hate Me Now. Yo, we trying to go to strip club. That nigga Dave said, I'm not going. I got work to do. He was like, he stayed in the studio, bro. And at the time when he was doing Hate Me Now, Lil Uzi was doing Love Is Rage. That's why Lil Uzi, that's my little man forever.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
But
that's real.
now hold on. You said you took Dave to do his Shahada. Who took you to do yours?
I took my Shahada in Beanie Siegel living room.
See how crazy this is? Did you see that cycle? I knew that. I just
yeah. I didn't know you remember that. Yeah, I took my Shahada in Beanie Siegel living room because when Beans was on, he was on house arrest. I was the only person that stayed with him. I didn't care. Like he needed somebody to be there. And he was fighting the attempted murder charge, you know what I mean? Like
that was documented.
Yeah,
you brought Sieg to the hood.
I brought Sieg to the hood. Nobody was outside, mad people. Nobody wanted to be outside that day. I was mad. We came through in the
hood look crazy,
bro. We came through in a big 500. I had on a diamond shit. Remember, I was wilding.
You was wilding, son.
Bro, I was coming, but you know what? This is why I be saying, what a time to be so young. Because when I was walking around with beans in the chains, I was, and I'm not saying this as a bragging point by no means. This is idiotic things I was doing, but I'm carrying every day because I'm daring a nigga. I remember my man came to me like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? I see you got the chain and the watch on and all that, but you might want to put. I said, I wish a nigga would ever try to take this fucking chain. If a nigga try to take this chain and ended up on the news, I can't even believe the kid I was, bro. That's crazy. I'd be like, yo, if I seen a nigga do it, I'd be like, oh, this nigga. What? Like, but I just, I've always been like, when I was younger, I was just eager to prove myself. You know what I mean? I was eager to prove myself.
That was just our surroundings from where we was from. It made us be defensive.
Yeah, bro. We grew up in hostility. That's why we hostile, bro.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Yo, you remember my first time going to LA and coming back and telling you about this artist that Johnny found? That I'm like, yo, this nigga he gonna be the next thing, bro. This nigga is like Snoop, but he a new version of this nigga. He's really on.
Don't make me cry on here today.
Let me fuck you up. Let me show you my first flick.
The biggest impact, man.
The first flick I took of this nigga in Harlem when I took him to Harlem for the first time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yo, we gotta put that picture
in front of M&G's,
Make sure
bro.
You put that picture up.
Yo, you know what's so crazy about
Make
Nip?
sure you put that picture up.
So a lot of people think that. Well, I want to say a lot of people think. People don't know that, like, niggas don't know that I met Nip through you. I met Nip in 08.
Before that.
Before that. Huh?
Me and Sick booked Nip.
Famous Factory.
I remember. No, I was there. I got footage of that.
That show right there.
No, I got footage of that. Cause remember them cameras, the shit that used to the flip cameras. I got one of them shits Hove in my crib. It's got the USB. But I filmed that. I filmed the day of fucking Ray Ray funeral.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yo. I got that show. So look, bro. No bullshit. Shit with Nip. I never forget this. Like, yo, it's this nigga, he from Cali. He like, yo, this nigga like Snoop, bro. He remind me of Snoop. He like, he Crip nigga. He mad tall, he got the braids. Like, this nigga fire. I remember one day, me and Dizza, we was coming down to, cause Shipe's crib was the hangout spot. You know what I mean? So like, we was coming to Shipe's crib. We was walking, and him, Shipes and Nip was on the corner at that restaurant. They was having lunch, and then Dizza had the key to the crib. So he like, Shipes like, yo, just go ahead, go upstairs. We go upstairs. And Nip comes upstairs and he talking. I thought it was so funny because the thing about it, like, Crips in New York don't say cuz all the time.
Yeah.
Yo, bro. Every word this nigga said was cuz. Yo, cuz. He like
we say B.
Yeah, bro. Yo, everything. He like cuz, man. Yo, this shit crazy, cuz. He like, everything he kept saying was cuz. I thought that shit was so funny because I went back there. I met the Nipsey nigga. I said, yo, that nigga be saying cuz all the time. I didn't know that. I was like, that nigga be saying cuz all the time. But no, bro, Nip, what's crazy about that is, like, you know, I had known Nip because it's a few times I've been in Shipe's crib with him. And then, you know, years later, when Karen Civil, my sister, our good sister, Karen, man. I love Karen, man. That's my sister. She's given me tons of advice over the years. Not only that, she's put money in my pocket. Feel me? And we got genuine love for each other.
She got a podcast right now, too?
Yeah, she got a podcast coming soon.
Shout out to her. Yeah.
Karen, when I was doing Cool Mentality, Karen had called me, and she's like, yo, she said, Nip, Nip doing Breakfast Club tomorrow. She like, come and make sure you got blue hats. She's like, make sure you got hat, bro. When I seen Nip, it was his first Breakfast Club interview. So I'm sitting outside, don't nobody know, because I had a great like the Breakfast Club. They my friends, you know what I mean, and like Yee, that's my sister, Charlamagne, and you know, while we're doing this shit, well, Nip comes out and they taking flicks. Nip took like 20. He remembered me from you, cause this was kind of years later, but he remembered me from you. He's like, yeah, I remember you, nigga. And then he took like 10. Yo, bro, I still got the pictures. He took like 10 or 15 pictures in my hat, bro. And when I put that hat up, I mean, Nipsey wasn't the Nipsey, you know, at his demise, but like I sold like a good 15 hats off that pick. You know what I mean? And then after that, that's another one who once, you know, me and Dave started working together. We go to LA and me and Karen connect him and Nip. And you know, Nip had us on his block with him, and
that shit tied full circle.
It's full circle, bro. And it was crazy about Nip is like, bro, he had like this nigga, anything you trying to do, like, bro, you could be like, yo, my girl wanna you be like, yo, my girl trying to start a lipstick line. He be like, oh, word cut. Like I know a nigga who like he got the lipstick shit. He be like, he got the packaging. Like, you want me to connect with you? I swear to God, bro.
He got a guy.
Yo, bro, this nigga
got a guy. He got a
bro.
guy.
So the first day, like Dave and him like link up. We in LA. We had a show and shit. We in LA. We go over by, you know, Crenshaw Slauson. Sitting in the car. You know, Dave, he connected over there with, you know, what he do with his affiliations, and you know, somebody came, make sure he's cool and shit. But then like we sitting there, we go in the store. The store looked like fucking like White Tea Spot. I mean, it's before he built, he's White Tea Spot. He gave me shit. Well, I bought shit too, but he gave me some shit. He gave me a hoodie for Kasir, for my son. He like, then we went from there. We went to his block because they shot a video. We shot the video and shit, and then he was like, we ain't gonna stay here too long. You know, that nigga be in and out. Yo, all them niggas, everybody in Cali, like, it's like cars, like New York not like that, bro. Cars is going all day. Every car, nigga be sitting here talking to you, and the whole time he talking to you, nigga eyes is like this.
On the car.
Facts.
Every single car.
Facts.
Nigga eyes like this. Niggas come over, throw some shit up out the window, they throw shit up out the window, like, it was crazy. Then we went from there to his studio, and then me and Dave, you know, at this time, me and Dave we making some money. Like, we got money now, so we wanted to build a studio. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Nigga Nip, like, he like, yo, cuz, y'all want to build a studio? He like, yo, Wayno, you want to build a studio? I'm like, yeah. He like, well, let me know. He like, the nigga who built mine, he do custom jobs. I send that nigga right to you. Y'all can work it out. However y'all work it out, go ahead. Like, bro, anything you wanted to do. If you could tell a nigga, I'm trying to open McDonald's, he'd be like, yo, listen, the way you got to open McDonald's is, cuz, you got to meet the nigga over here. He'll bring you to that nigga. Yo, he had advice for everything, and I'm forever grateful for the relationship that I had that was birthed through you. Because even when I would see him, and the only regret I always have with my relationship with Nip is he would always tell me to come out with him. Every time I see him, and I didn't. Last time I saw him was at Charlotte All-Star Weekend, and this is when I had TJ Porter. And we going in a Dreamville brunch. He walking out. Him, Adam, all of them. I love Adam. That's my nigga.
I love Adam too.
And one thing Nip will always do is, like, if he see me and he with 10 niggas, he'll make all of them niggas walk over to me. Like, that nigga really moved like he had the FOI with him, bro.
I got a good last
they
story
all moved.
too.
They come to me, like, he gave me a pound. He's like, yo, Wayno, what's up? I said, it's my artist, TJ Porter. He like, oh, word. He like, where you from? He like, Harlem. Me like, oh, you fucking with the right nigga. Da. He like, yo, he said, we gonna go out tonight, nigga. He like, hit my phone. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit your phone. Never hit his phone. Never hit his phone. Cause I just, you know it's crazy because people do that to me. They're like, I don't want to bother you. You know what I mean? But I wish I would have had an experience of, because we did do shit though. Like, we did, when Dave, like, when I was managing East, we did shit with him in Minnesota. Like, we had a show together in Minnesota. We did a few things with them. You know what I mean? But, like,
that's how Dave and Nip built the relationship?
Yeah, through, like, when me and Karen, you know what I mean? Me and Karen, like, we put them on the phone together and shit, because Karen, we was trying to put Dave on the Marathon agency. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, we have connected them and all of that shit, and, like, they built their own relationship after we connected them and shit, you know what I'm saying? And then they had, like, you know, they got their street affiliation, so, like, you know, the niggas that they fuck with them, and they mesh well, and you know what I mean? It's all love, man. I be like, damn, bro, like, that shit took the air out of me when that brother passed, man. For real.
Yeah, that shit, man, I still get emotional when I think about that shit. The last time I seen Nip was, I want to say, Henny Palooza in L.A. I was with Wale, and Wale had went to do like a surprise performance, because you know
they always do the surprise shit.
Surprise performance shit. And we on the stage, and this stage is like probably the biggest stage as far as No Homo. It was a long ass stage,
right?
And the stage is always packed because it's Henny Palooza. and I just see this tall nigga all the way down here with this black leather. And I look, and it's this nigga Nip, and somehow me and this nigga lock eyes, and he just hit me with one of these.
Yeah. He always give you one of those. He always give you that shit. Like, what? Like,
and then he start.
Yeah, he start 60s
and
going.
then he walk my way.
Yeah.
And it felt like the whole stage open.
Bro.
And the nigga gave me the big dap and a hug. And
Yeah,
niggas
bro.
is just, and he with his girl, and niggas is, introduced me, and nigga like, yo, Smoke Low, because he always call me
Smoke Low, yeah.
He like, Smoke Low, man, I love you, cuz, you
Yeah.
doing it, nigga. And I'm like, nigga, you doing it, nigga, you
Yeah.
here. And it was like, it was the best last.
Yo, bro, but think about this. Every
connection
time you see him, it always is a moment.
It was always.
It's always a moment when you see that nigga, bro. Every time, like I remember when he got nominated for a Grammy, I saw him at the Grammy party, and I was with like I was with a few of the like my GS9 homies and shit. He came, him, Lauren, he made everybody come over to me. He seen me, he walking in, that nigga, everybody come over to me.
Beeline.
He like, yo, I said I'm about to go to the he said you going to the store before you leave? I like, yeah, we was in LA. I was like, yeah. He said, nigga, hit my phone. He like, I'm gonna make sure that niggas I know you like to buy your own shit, but niggas gonna put extra shit in your bag, nigga. He like, you good on that show? He like, I like seeing you on that show. Like he show me love, man.
Speaking of that show,
Yeah,
because I know my guys, I don't want to keep you here for too long, but I want to get all my shit.
Right.
So that show that we speaking about, Everyday Struggle. Now, before you got to that show, your voice on the internet alone, on Twitter, that whole world, I felt like it wasn't no ceiling for it. It just felt like, people would follow suit to what you said. So me seeing you on a Complex show it wasn't a surprise for me.
Yo, like, why everybody say that, bro?
Because it just wasn't, bro. Because you always had a structured opinion. It wasn't an opinion of hate. It wasn't a shock value.
Right.
It was a structured opinion where it was like people could relate to your opinion. Because most times when you say something, I'll be like, damn, this nigga's right. So for you to be on that show, and then to be on that show after Joe left.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was like you had a task where people didn't know how it was gonna go.
And after the year that Joe had.
Oh yeah. That was,
right?
Bro, so think about that's crazy you say that. Cause look, that was not in my sights, in my career, in my life ever. I wanted to be rich and nobody know me. That's what I really want to be. Like I got to a point where I was like, I want to be a rich nigga that like the nigga that pull up in a Lamborghini with a Nike Tech sweatsuit on that don't nobody know, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah,
nigga, you rich.
Nah, we oh, this is post. I'm gonna tell you why. Well, I only did this one day because I was bored. But
you doing alright, nigga?
Nah, I'm doing alright. That's a fact. But the show, so literally, like I said, I never saw that in my sights ever. That was never one of my goals. And what happened was, Nadeska, shout out to my sister Nadeska. When I was managing East, that's how I met her. She was working at MTV at the time. She was doing Rap Fix Live and all that. And she was doing editorial, so they came uptown. She came uptown to the East Side and interview East one time. You know what I mean? And me and her got cool. And anybody that know me, man, we exchange contacts. Like, we might not talk all the time, but like every now and then, if I know you got kids, I'm gonna ask how they doing. If your mom's is sick or your mom's doing all right, we always gonna have that if we got like mutual respect for each other. And everybody you meet, you ain't got to get money with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest misconception is that like, yo, all right, bro, let's link and let's build and let's take over the world. No, we don't have to do that. We just be cool. You know what I'm saying? So me and Nadeska was just cool. And I was a fan of the show. I'm watching the show every day. You know what I mean? When Joe was on it, because, I got a lot of love and respect for Joe. And watching the show, and then, the whole shit transpires. I didn't really pay attention to when the whole shit ended like that. Like, at this time, I'm transitioning out of my shit with Dave. So it's like, I'm just trying to figure out, what's my next thing I'm gonna do, who's gonna be my next artist. Like, really how I'm gonna pay my bills, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing. And, I literally was watching the episode when Star came on, and Star, bro. I used to wake up early in the morning, bro.
Star,
I got a lot of everybody I got his thing with Star, fucking Nadeska. She had a thing with Star, but for me, like Star, I never really had a problem with him because when I had came on the show, like, this is a nigga that I woke up extra early in the morning to go to school so I could hear him on my Walkman. You know what I mean? This is a nigga who like, I woke up early because he was funny, you know what I'm saying? And he was entertaining, and
Controversial.
Yeah, controversial. You know what I mean? Like I didn't agree with everything he did, but like I was a fan of Star. Like keep it 100. So like I came on the show. I hit Nadeska, you know, cause her and Star had a little spat, and I was she was like saying something to him. They was having like a little back and forth, and I texted her like, yeah, talk your shit. You know what I mean? She hits me in the back like a week later, like, yo, she's like, yo, Wayne, I'm such a bad friend, but yo, you know what you should? She's like, come on the show and debate with us one day. And I'm like, for real? She like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. So at this time, I was about, my company is called Triangle Offense. I was transitioning into that. Well, as far as from a merchandise standpoint, and I had my hat. I was about to go hard with the merch starting in January, February or whatever. And I went there. I was really just trying to wear a dope outfit, promote my hat and shit, and just talk about music. And I came there that one day. I never left.
It's crazy.
I came there and never left until, you know, of course we finished the show. And it's so funny because like even when I got on the show, bro, I got a lot of hate from after, because I was on there as a guest with Star, and then when I actually got onto the show, I got a lot of hate, not from fans who just are fans of Joe Budden, but I got a lot of hate from like journalists. Like I seen certain shit.
Hating on you.
I mean, like, I want to say, I always feel like, man, Martin Luther King was hated, and they killed him. So if niggas ain't taking it that far, ain't really no hate.
On Martin Luther King Day right now.
Right, you feel me?
I feel like they were trying on the light skinned niggas too.
Right, but the thing was, is like, yo, bro, like, end of the day, is like, I don't never use, like, for me, this whole shit is monopoly, bro. Like, it's easy, not easy in the sense of, like, I'm diminishing what it is that I do. I'm saying, like, you know, bro, if niggas only knew half the shit I've done in my life to pay my bills, or to help my mother, or to take care of my kids, bro.
Talk your shit.
Y'all niggas not gonna play with me.
Talk your shit.
By no means. Like, and I'm not even on that type of time, but y'all not gonna play. Because we grew up in the same environment, but like, I grew up in an environment where it's like, bro, the shit that y'all call crazy is our Saturday night, the party.
That's normal.
You know what I mean? And I don't take that, and that's what I'm saying. I don't use that as no special power. It's not cool or none of that. But I'm not on that in this. I'm in here. I'm trying to be an entertainer. You know what I mean? I'm now an entertainer. So the same people that I was managing, making money for them, I'm making the same money they making. But I'm an entertainer now. So it's like I'm in a positive space where I'm just trying to use my voice to encourage, uplift, and talk shit. If it ain't nothing like crazy, we ain't gonna play around. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen certain people, it's people saying like, who is this nigga? Like, he ain't never did nothing in this game. He ain't solidified. He ain't no. One fact is that I'm not a journalist. You know what I mean? Definitely not a journalist. But
You have a structured perspective.
what I will say is that I'm a person who takes advantage of opportunity when it's provided for me. If you tell me, like, if a nigga told me you wanted to just like make a bottle to sell iced teas, and I'm gonna come up with a whole nother idea as how we could do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take it as far as I can. And once I came on the show, you know, it was a little, I wouldn't say scary, it was a little vulnerable putting myself out there like that. You know, but I love it, bro. I made like great. I did that show for 3 years.
It's crazy how 3 years went so
That fast, right? Yeah, I made
so crazy.
I made a ton of money.
And then, you know, your life is so crazy. In closing, right? Because, you know, after that, it's funny how we went the whole history from the beginning.
Right.
And now we at the tail end. So after you leave Everyday Struggle, you get a new gig.
Well, I got the gig.
Or pre-leaving Everyday Struggle, you had.
Well, well, so my next shit, which I ain't say nothing
No,
about.
not the next shit. I'm talking about Asylum.
Oh, no. Asylum, I did that while I was at Everyday Struggle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And yo, that's the thing. It's like, what's crazy is like, it ain't no media personality that been a record executive at the same time.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
You feel me?
Like, we
and
did.
had an artist has an artist.
Yeah. Sada Baby.
Sada Baby.
That's my brother. Love. So I just was in
record.
Detroit with them. Bro, them niggas is crazy out there. I ain't gonna lie. Detroit is crazy. But yeah, man, it's just, you know what it is? Every day I wake up, I still got that same thirst as a kid, like just want to go outside and ride my bike.
You love what you do, bro.
I do what I love, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is like, I be thinking about my life, bro, like, my shit is a fairy tale in the sense of, like, I really got everything I wanted. I got the girl I wanted, you know what I mean? I got the stuff. I just wanted, once I got a little older, it just became to the point where I just wanted to do something to make my family happy. Make my mom and my dad, you know, rest in peace to my dad, but like, that he could be proud of. My dad was a street nigga that got a lot of bread, so it's like.
Rest in peace to Big Wayne, man. I loved him, man.
Yeah,
I loved
man.
him, he loved me.
Yeah, my pops said nigga.
That was our
His
bond.
Instagram, man, it'd be crazy because I be looking at pictures and the first like comment I be seeing is a comment he left like on like some of my old pictures from like this last year. So it's like I'm still adjusting to that, but yeah, man, I just wanted to make my parents happy more than anything, and I just wanted to be an example, man. It's like I'm from the Bronx. Like a lot of people get it twisted and be like, "Oh, where you from?" I'm from Harlem, but I am from the Bronx as well. I was born and raised in the Bronx, and then I moved to Harlem.
HBO,
Feel
Harlem
me?
Bronx only.
Right. You feel me? So it's like, for me, I just wanted to be a representation of something that a kid, boy or girl, you know what I mean? No matter where you from, care if you from the hood or if you from the burbs, everybody got their struggles to look at and be like, damn, here's a person who, the hand that was dealt to them, they took that shit and they I don't know card terms and none of that shit when it come to a full house or whatever that shit is, but did it, like really did it, and I want to be remembered forever. Like I want people to look back. All I want, I swear, and you know what's crazy about this shit? My father's funeral, bro. Not many people came up to me and was like, your father was that nigga.
Yeah.
Make you feel good, bro.
Yo, I swear, bro, I didn't shed one tear at my father's funeral, bro. Not one. Because he told me not to, but not only that, I was happy. My father made it to be 70 years old. I was happy that, like, in my father's ending, that it was people who loved him. Genuinely loved him. Like, I mean, genuinely, people was like, yo, man, I know your father. I didn't know my father had a scholarship to go to Xavier, bro. Full academic scholarship to go to Xavier, and he chose the streets.
That's crazy.
And I didn't know this. So it's like, for people to come to me and show me, all I want, because my day gonna come. It's gonna come one day. But I want people to just say to my kids, yo, your father helped me.
Facts.
Not your father gave me money. Your father, words that he said is shit I carry to this day. Ways that he lived is things I carry to this day. Your father, I know he's your dad, but he means a lot to the world. That's why I just want my contribution to this world to mean something to people. Give a fuck where you from.
Well, look, it means everything
No
to me
fake
while
love.
we're living.
Your flowers, my nigga.
Appreciate
love
that,
you.
man. I love you too,
with
bro.
all
That's
my
fact.
heart. I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, bro.
I'm so happy to have you in the space, you know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah.
this is my new passion along with the music and everything else I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just talking to my friends and really getting that narrative out that to show all these other kids and, adults that still undecided with doing things.
Right.
But you could fucking do it.
That's a
you
fact.
know what I mean?
That's a fact.
It could be done.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah,
before
we gotta
outta
get
here,
ignorant real fast.
Before we get out of here, you fucked Sherry Bryan's name. You fucked her name up, and you fucked.
I said Cherie Bryan.
No, her
Nah,
name is
yeah.
not Cherie. Her name's
Excuse me,
Sherry.
Shari.
And
Yeah.
then you fucked Arabelle's name up last week.
Yeah,
Her name is
Arabelle,
not
I
Annabelle. Her
apologize.
name is fucking Arabelle. So whatever
Yo, my
your pick
nigga,
of the week
listen.
is this
Yo,
week,
listen,
you
listen,
make sure
listen.
you get
What the
that
nigga
right,
say,
Yo,
bro.
listen, man. Yo, I'm new to this, people. I'm new to this.
You're doing a good job, though, bro. You're doing a good job, man.
No. It's
Right
not
here,
about the job. You get people names right. Would you like if somebody fucked your name up?
Nigga, fuck my name up all the time, nigga.
Do you like it?
You, what's my name, Smoke? Say my name, my full name. Say my name.
Menage,
That's
nigga.
not my name.
Menasha, nigga.
Yeah, all right, then say my name right, nigga.
Nigga, that's how I pronounce it. Nigga, fuck you talk about, nigga.
Listen, man.
You answer to it.
Listen.
Just go ahead, man. Get your shit.
Look. We gonna let you pick the porn star of the week.
Pornstar of the week. Okay.
Oh, you got one?
I got a few I could refer to.
Oh, no, we let him pick
Sticking
porn star
hype.
of the week. Nah, I had, cause you know what I'm saying? We grew up in the 90s. I'm a 90s.
Niggas was shaking the dice, bro.
Talk
Like,
to
come on, bro. Well, my block, we call it get money.
Talk to
We call it
him.
get money on my block.
Talk to him, baby.
Nah, and you know what's
You know what I'm
crazy?
saying?
Yo, you know what's
Yeah,
crazy
yo,
though?
Wayno.
When niggas was younger, niggas used to be like, nah, who you get money to, my nigga? Who you get money to, man?
No fake love. No fake love, man.
Hey, yo, sit down,
Yo,
man.
shut up.
Nah,
man.
alright, so
Yo, listen,
we
yo.
pick it up. We pick it up. Boy, start of the week.
You
Alright, what's the
want me
pool? What's the pool? You got a pool?
I had two.
Who's yours two? Alright, so
Oh,
look.
look. That was just for the culture.
Right. Okay.
I was trying to do, I was trying to pay, because we was giving flowers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to pay homage.
Right.
I usually go new or independent, but we going, you know what I'm saying? But if you got one,
Nah,
we rolling with you.
All right, so look,
Alright,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
we
tell.
rolling with
All right,
Williams.
no,
What you
but I got one, but then I got an honorable mention. Do I have one in an honorable mention? Oh, I got, but the honorable mention niggas might not know.
It's all good.
He
He
know.
knows.
So, nigga, this nigga know. Nigga, did you wash your hands today, nigga? Nah. So nah.
This is non-controversial
I gotta go.
sport,
The Roxy Reynolds the GOAT, bro.
Wow.
Roxy Reynolds the GOAT, bro.
He was about to say
so look, no, because we can say the two you had, right? But look, but you see the two that we got, right?
She was the third.
No, all right, but look, Pinky. Look, see the thing about Pinky, right?
All right.
The thing about Pinky is, Pinky was Jordan, but she ended up being Wizards Jordan when she got fat.
Oh, that's crazy.
She ended up being Wizards Jordan when she got fat.
I still shook the dice to the BBW. BBW Pinky caught 5. She caught
No,
5.
but my honorable mention is Serena Ali. I don't know. You know who Serena Ali is?
You know everybody, bro.
Yo,
This nigga's a spank bang legend.
I fucks with you, bro. So we put Serena up. Yo, my nigga, this is my nigga.
Nah,
man.
Serena Ali.
Nah, my
Serena
nigga.
Ali fire.
Nah, Serena, I'ma see you tonight, baby.
Alright, POW of the
I work, bro. I'll be there at 12.
POW of the week, Serena Ali. Serena Ali. And before
Roxy, we gotta put
Roxy the GOAT, dog.
Roxy, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? She got ties in the hip hop.
Before we get out of here, shout out to our sponsors, Ultra High. Shout out to Ultra High. The best motherfucking weed on the black market right now. You know what I mean? I'm a black market shorty. Even though we just opened up our dispensary in Detroit. I wish I had my little shit. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we just opened our first smoke dispensary in Detroit. You gotta relax. Shout out to Ultra High. Shout out to Packs and Pearls. The best roll-ups in the game. Better than backwards. All right? All right? And then shout out to Spray 420. You want to mask your weed smell. You like smoking weed in the bathroom when Lil Paulie's, you know what I mean? So Lil Paulie got to use the potty. You spray motherfucking this 420 shit.
2 minutes and you Gucci.
Yeah, and you get that going.
You know what I'm saying?
My fucking pops is calling me to harass me right now.
No fake
Sean.
love. No fake love.
Yo, my boy.
No fake love. You know what I'm saying? Hit them up at No Fake Love, right? On Instagram.
I'm working right now. I'm going to call you back.
No Fake Love Apparel. No Fake Love Apparel on Instagram. Hit them up for your hoodies and all that streetwear. You know what I'm saying? Get right. Do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? In closing, you know what I mean? I love everybody. I don't even have no slick therapeutic shit to say. Even though I did therapy this morning, I can't give a gem that I normally give. But I'm going to tell everybody, stay safe, stay dangerous, stay out the way. And what's that stupid shit you say?
Curls for the girls, wave for the babes, and that's for the hood rats. Let's go. Show Broadway, ho.
Yeah,
Wayno 119.
You know what I'm saying?
My motherfucking brother, I love you.
Niggas don't know about Serena Ali. Love you too,
Yo,
bro.
my nigga.
Niggas don't know about